In 1979, the Douglas family of Oklahoma City became victims of a brutal 4-hour home invasion. Reverend Richard Douglas, his wife Marilyn, 16-year-old son Brooks, and 12-year-old daughter Leslie were tied up by 2 men. Leslie was raped by both intruders before they robbed the house, then shot each member of the family and left them to die. The children survived, but the parents did not. 32 years later, Brooks has made a film out of this nightmare that he not only wrote, but he also stars in as a slain father. Here is Brooks delivering the same sermon his father gave the day before he watched him die. Please take a look.
See, the joy of life is poisoned by the resentment of past grudges. We have to get rid of the bad blood because we grow by getting the skeletons out of our closet and opening the door to life with forgiveness and mercy and love.
Please welcome Brooks and Leslie Douglas. Hi, Brooks. Hi, Leslie. Welcome to the show. Wow, that was the tragedy. 2 of the men were captured. You had a really rough time after that. So many things happened. You got 2 of the men who were captured. One received the death penalty. The other one, he got life in prison. But afterwards, it didn't get better. The home was repossessed. You and Leslie were separated for a while. You got back together.
Right.
Then at 27, you became the youngest senator in Oklahoma.
Right.
So through all of this, you made this movie. How did you become a senator to writing and starring in this movie? And you were playing your father.
Right. Well, you know, I think when I ran for the Senate and I'd gone to law school and done all those things, and I think it was more of an effort to try to gain some control of my life and some control of my destiny, and at the same time make sure that the kinds of things that happened to us and the ability of victims to participate in the process that's going on, that a lot of times re-victimizes you. But I wanted to try to engage and do some things about those, and I had a chance to do that, and I think we did some good things. And then as I was thinking about what do I want to do next, you know, the idea, we'd had people approach us about making a movie before, and those never worked out very well, and people wanted to tell a crime story.
Sure.
And to me, it was more about a family and love and the relationships that we had in our own family, and that a bad thing happened to. And since then, we've tried to move on. We've tried to live our lives the best that we could, and that was the story that I really felt like needed to be shared. Yeah.
When Brooks told you that he was going to not only write but star in as your dad in this film, what was your initial reaction? Were you ready?
I think initially I was kind of in disbelief. I thought, oh gosh, this is another one of Brooks's projects, and I always back him up, but I think I just sat back, kind of hard to believe how it'd be for me to play my mother, and how difficult that was for Brooks to play my dad, and what an excellent job he's done with that. I'm proud of him.
And I'm sure some of the scenes to recreate were unbearably difficult. Yeah. Were you, go ahead, Cher.
No, I was going to say, I know that they were difficult. We're going to show a scene, the tragic night that your father died. And we have to remind everybody, you're playing your father.
Right.
And there's a teenager who is playing you.
Right.
Take a look.
Dad, Mom's dead. I love you, Dad. Leslie and I are gonna be fine. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Wow. Brooks, how tough was it to do that scene?
That was, you know, most things in life that you dread are never quite as bad when they happen as you think they're going to be. And that one was actually much worse. And when we were making the decision for me to play my dad, and this sounds really strange, but I didn't think about that scene, because when I think about him and when I wrote it, I think of him alive, throwing a football and riding in the car and watching him preach. And it wasn't until I started working with a coach to prepare for the scene that he said, you know, this is kind of a high wire act. I don't know if this has ever been done before. And I went, oh wow, yeah, I gotta play that scene, and that was.
Did you
tough.
have to give the actor who played you any tips? Did you give him any tips?
Yeah, I worked
felt?
with Mike a lot, and I think he did an outstanding job. One of the moments, the moment that was really bizarre as we were shooting was, I never told him that I really did kiss my dad on the forehead. And then when we were on the floor and we were shooting the scene, he moved over and he kissed me on the forehead. And it literally just took the breath away from everybody on the crew, everybody that was there, including me. But it worked out since I was supposed to be dying. But it really, you know, it was a tough moment, but it was amazing.
Leslie, I'm watching you watching that scene, and I see tears in your eyes. Contagious over here on this side of the sofa. Were you there the day of filming?
No, but Brooks and I had a long talk that morning about it, and I was just like, I'm glad it's you and not me. I just don't think I could have done it.
Too much
Yeah.
to go back.
When you were a senator in Oklahoma, Brooks, you were touring a prison, and you found out that in this prison, one of your parents' murderers, Glenn Ake, was also in the prison. You requested to see him, and this actually was one of the most powerful scenes in the movie. What happened to sit across from this man later? I mean, what was that like?
Well, I never expected to meet with him, and had I not been a senator and pushed it, it wouldn't have happened. And then I never ever expected the result. He had played crazy, and he's a violent guy, and so when I went in there, I didn't expect anything really good. There were all the possibilities that I thought of were bad, but I wanted to have the meeting regardless. And then the result that happened was the last thing I ever would have dreamed of.
Which was?
That I forgave him.
You know,
You're
forgave
sitting
him.
across from this man
Yeah.
who took the lives of your parents,
Yeah.
harmed you guys beyond words,
Right.
and was there rage and then forgiveness?
Yeah, I never realized how much rage that I carried in me until I was sitting at the table with him, and never would have dreamed, and until I heard the words coming out of my mouth, and then when. And I kept that, the meeting actually took about an hour and a half because I really wanted to have him, I wanted him to have to look me in the eye for that long.
Yeah.
And when he apologized, to see if that was for real.
So he apologized. He
did
said that he was
apologize
sorry.
right off the bat.
when
yeah.
the movie has a lot of spiritual overtones. Your father was a minister. Your parents were missionaries. A lot of people would say, how do you have a faith in God? A God who would allow your family to be torn apart, a God who would allow your parents to be so brutally murdered. How can you still look at God and go, I love you? Or even look at a man and go, I forgive you? Can
Well,
you answer that?
they're intertwined, I think, at the end of the day. I wouldn't be able to forgive except for my faith and what I learned from my parents. And on the other hand, there's been many times that I felt anger toward God, and not so much what happened to us, but my mom and dad were 43 and 36. I mean, and really had lived great lives, and to have
Good life,
Right.
giving to so many.
Yeah, exactly, and to have that
Leslie,
happen. Yeah.
have you ever had a face-to-face with
No, I
Ake?
have not.
And have you been able to forgive?
I think in ourselves that we have to forgive. It's hard to go on, and if you don't, you live angry. I think the rest of your life. I mean, I see so many kids and adults that have so much hatred, and it's like, who is it that they haven't forgiven? Why is it? What grudge are they holding on to? And I think that I always think, well, if I forgive this, I can forgive anything. And you know, I have children and I have a lot of love to give, and that's what I need to focus on, and not regrets and not guilt and hate.
Right, and you have a lot to give too. I mean, you had, as some described, the voice of an angel, and when this incident happened, you stopped singing, and you were able to sing in this film for the first time, aside from dabbling here and there at weddings and things as we were talking about. And we have a clip of that I want to share with everybody. Your voice back.
'Tis 7 long years since last I saw you away, rolling river.
We're thankful that you've had healing too, and you're able to share that voice with everybody again. Thank you both.
Thank you for coming and talking about faith and forgiveness in this powerful movie. Thank you so much, Brooks and Leslie. We do want to thank Brooks and Leslie Douglas. For more information on the movie Heaven's Rain, you can check out our website. We'll be right back.
Thank you.